American growers in their 50s and 60s are standing at the garden center this June, buying another dying flat of annuals. Again, not because you love replacing plants, because nobody ever showed you the 12 permanent perennials that return stronger every single summer. Before plant number 1, drop your state right now, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Find yours and pay attention. And the one at number 5, European growers kept it to themselves and their closest growers since serious growers stopped talking publicly. Do not skip this. Plant number 1, Astrantia, the $24 RHS Award, European Perennial, that quietly replaces $60 to $100 in dying annual flowers every single American summer for exhausted growers across zones 5 through 8. Picture hundreds of tiny pink-white star-shaped flowers clustered like miniature fireworks, bursting gently above dark, deeply lobed green foliage tucked into a cool, part-shaded border, blooming beautifully from June straight through late September. Zones 4 through 8, moist, part shade, done. This perennial holds the RHS Award of Garden Merit, and its starburst flower form is unlike anything else on this list. Deadhead the spent blooms in July, and Astrantia rewards you with a full second flush of color lasting into late September. One $24 plant divides into 3 separate clumps by year 4, expanding your investment without another purchase. Most American growers plant Astrantia in full sun, expecting annual, style blooming, a costly diagnosis mistake. That single error costs $24 in a dead plant, and another full season of bloom lost entirely. That $24 investment now compounds every single year. Astrantia stays in your border permanently, but plant number 2 produces arching orange-red flowers hummingbirds cannot resist, and one plant becomes 20 within 3 years. Drop your state in the comments. Right now, your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. And somewhere in this video is the story of a grower in Illinois who spent $680 every summer on annuals for 8 years. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, Crocosmia, the $22 corm that hummingbirds cannot resist, and most American garden centers have never stocked in 50 years of business. Picture dozens of blazing orange-red flowers arching gracefully off tall, curved stems, rising above sword-shaped green foliage in full summer sun, blooming continuously from July straight through September. Zones 5 through 9, full sun, well-drained. Crocosmia is a hummingbird specialist plant, producing nectar so concentrated that hummingbirds bypass every annual in the yard for it. One $22 corm multiplies underground into 20 separate corms within 3 years, permanently compounding your original investment. Documented by University Extension Services, this corm system spreads faster than nearly any other summer perennial available. Most American growers in zones 5 and below leave corms in frozen ground through winter, expecting perennial-style hardiness. That single mistake destroys an entire $22 investment and every multiplied corm with it. That single corm you plant this June becomes a permanent hummingbird colony, compounding in value every single year. But plant number 3 changes color on the very same flower spike, red fading to yellow as it ages, right before your eyes, season after season. Have you ever grown a perennial that changes its own color while it blooms? Drop it below. Plant number 3, Nymphophea, the $24 RHS Award of Garden Merit Torch that hummingbirds claim as their own exclusive nectar source across the entire American summer garden. Picture tall, blazing spikes rising like torches, glowing red at the tip and fading gradually to gold at the base, standing above strappy grass-like foliage in full sun from June clear through August. Zones 5 through 9, Full sun, well-drained soil, done. Nymphophea holds the RHS Award of Garden Merit and its color. Changing spike is a mechanism no annual on any store shelf can replicate. Each spike opens red at the tip and shifts to yellow at the base as individual florets age, creating a living gradient. Hummingbirds recognize this exclusive nectar source instantly, often bypassing every other bloom in the yard. In zones 5 and 6, most American growers cut the foliage back for winter, believing tidy equals hardy. That single mistake exposes the evergreen crown to freeze damage, killing a plant worth $24 permanently. Mulch it right, and that RHS award-winning torch returns hummingbird covered every single June, permanently. But plant number 4 does something no annual can. Leopard spotted dramatic foliage from April through November, plus golden flower towers, arriving in July. Did you believe cutting perennials back always keeps them healthier? Plant number 4, Ligularia, the one summer perennial that does something no annual can, producing leopard-spotted dramatic foliage from April through November, and golden flower towers arriving in July. Picture deep green leaves splashed with darker spots, rising into tall golden spike clusters above a cool, shaded American border, holding garden presence across 8 full months. Zones 3 through 8, morning sun, moist soil. Ligularia holds the most dramatic foliage of any shade, tolerant summer perennial available to American growers today. Its leopard, spotted leaves hold structure from April through November. Then golden flower towers arrive in July for a second layer of drama. One $26 plant divides into 3 separate clumps by year 5, permanently expanding your shaded border. Most American growers place this in afternoon sun, expecting shade plants to tolerate some direct heat. That single mistake wilts the entire plant dramatically within hours, costing the full $26 investment. 8 months of garden presence from one single plant. That is not decoration, that is permanent structure most American borders never achieve. But plant number 5 holds summer color for 5 full months, June straight through October, longer than any annual you have ever planted in your entire life. And we have not even reached number 5 yet. Plant number 5, Persicaria, the $22 perennial holding summer color longer than any other plant on this list, blooming continuously June straight through October across 5 uninterrupted months. Picture slender wine red poker spikes rising in dense clusters above deep green foliage, thriving in consistently moist soil where most American nurseries have never even stocked this specialty plant. Zones 4 through 8, full sun, moist soils. Persicaria remains the most underused perennial in American gardening, sold almost exclusively through specialty nurseries. Most growers never discover. Its 5-month bloom season outlasts every annual cycle, holding wine, red color from June through October without a single gap. One $22 plant expands into a dense colony within 3 seasons, filling border gaps permanently at 0 extra cost. Most American growers plant this in dry, average soil, expecting typical drought tolerance. That single mistake shortens the bloom period dramatically, cutting 5 months down to barely 10 weeks. Keep that soil consistently moist, and Persicaria delivers 5 uninterrupted months of color. No annual has ever matched. But plant number 6 blooms twice in a single season, May through July, then reblooms again after one simple cutback technique. Have you ever grown a perennial that flowers twice from a single planting? Drop it below. Plant number 6 June, the $20 RHS Award perennial that blooms twice in one season, first May through July, then again after one simple cutback technique. Most American growers have never tried. Picture brick orange and scarlet cup-shaped flowers rising on wiry stems above a low mound of green foliage, delivering true cottage garden character across 2 separate flowering cycles. Zones 5 through 8, full sun, well-drained soil. GM holds the RHS Award of Garden Merit, delivering 2 full bloom cycles from a single spring planting most American growers never expect. Cut the spent stems back to basal growth immediately after the first flush fades, and fresh brick, orange blooms return within 3 to 4 weeks. This cottage garden essential thrives where other summer perennials struggle with heavy soil conditions. Most American growers plant geum in dense clay, expecting typical perennial adaptability across any soil type. That single mistake rots the crown by winter, destroying the entire $20 investment permanently. That single cutback technique doubles your bloom season from one $20 plant permanently every single year going forward without ever buying another one. And remember, that grower I mentioned at the very start of this video, her story is about to change everything about how you will see these next 6 plants on this entire list. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a grower. This is that story. She's 64, gardening in Zone 5, Illinois, and for 8 straight years, she spent $680 every summer refilling the same tired border with annuals. A cost documented by University Extension Services as fairly typical, until she planted 4 of these European perennials that first spring and never bought another flat of annuals again. By year 2, she bought 0 annuals, and her August border looked more beautiful than any summer she had ever paid full price for. Neighbors started stopping at the fence line, asking exactly what she had planted that year. If you are still watching right now, this next plant is exactly why I made this video. Not for the algorithm, but for the grower who actually stayed until now. Plant number 7, Summer Phlox, the $20 perennial whose fragrance travels 15 feet on evening air. Unlike anything any annual has ever produced in an American backyard. Picture dense clusters of pink-purple blooms rising on tall, upright 4-foot stems, releasing sweet perfume into the cooling evening air. Zones 3 through 8, full sun, good air circulation. This is not creeping phlox spreading low along the ground. Summer phlox stands tall at 4 feet, delivering upright structure many American growers never distinguish correctly. Documented by Penn State Extension, deadheading spent blooms triggers a confirmed second flush into early fall. One $20 plant fills real border space, replacing multiple annual purchases across a single season. Most American growers crowd phlox tightly together, expecting annual style spacing tolerance. That single mistake guarantees powdery mildew by August, requiring 18-inch spacing minimum to prevent it. 18 inches of spacing protects a fragrance no annual has ever carried across an entire evening yard. But plant number 8 produces 5-foot lavender white spires, more photographed than any annual you have ever purchased, and it self-seeds gently to fill every gap permanently. This one does something no other plant on this list can. Plant number 8, Campanula. This one does something no other summer perennial on this list can, producing 5-foot spires of lavender white bells that photograph more beautifully than any annual you have ever purchased. Picture towering flower spikes covered in delicate bell-shaped blooms, self-seeding gently into border gaps without ever becoming invasive, blooming continuously June through August. Zones 4 through 7, full sun, moist soil. Documented as one of the most photographed perennials in European cottage gardens. Campanula lactiflora brings vertical drama most American borders have never seen. Its gentle self-seeding habit fills border gaps permanently, generation after generation, without crowding neighboring plants. One $22 plant becomes an expanding colony within 4 seasons, compounding your original investment. Most American growers cut Campanula back hard after bloom, expecting typical perennial tidiness. That single mistake removes basal growth needed for rebloom and self-seeding, costing a full year's colony expansion. Leave that basal growth alone, and Campanula rewards you with a permanent, self-renewing colony every single year. But plant number 9 requires almost nothing at all. No dividing, no feeding, no deadheading. Just bright yellow cups, filling every gap from June through August. What plant or situation in your yard has defeated everything you have tried? Tell me below. Plant number 9, Lysimachia. This one requires almost nothing. No dividing, no feeding, no deadheading, just bright yellow cups, filling every border gap from June straight through August, permanently. Picture upright stems packed with cheerful yellow flowers, spreading gently via underground runners into bare patches. Most American growers waste money replanting every season. Zones 4 through 8, full sun, moist soils. Lysimachia demands almost zero maintenance, requiring no feeding, no dividing, and no deadheading across an entire American growing season. Its underground runner system spreads naturally into bare patches, filling gaps permanently without a single additional purchase. One $16 plant becomes a full colony within 2 seasons, the fastest spreading investment on this entire list. Most American growers plant this in dry, average garden soil, expecting typical low-maintenance drought tolerance. That single mistake stops the spreading habit entirely, leaving bare gaps unfilled for years. Moist soil is the only requirement, and Lysimachia fills every gap permanently, without another single dollar spent ever again. But plant number 10 has silver white woolly leaves softer than velvet, the most tactile plant in your entire garden this year. Have you ever grown a perennial your grandchildren simply cannot stop touching? Drop it below. Plant number 10, Lamb's Ear, the $16 perennial with silver white woolly leaves softer than velvet, the single most tactile plant in your entire American garden this whole year. Picture dense, low mounds of fuzzy silver foliage spreading gently along a sunny border edge, irresistible to curious hands and grandchildren who simply cannot stop touching it. Zones 4 through 8. Full sun, well-drained soil. Documented by North Carolina State University Extension, Lamb's Ear functions as a genuine family garden engagement plant, unlike anything sold at typical American nurseries. Its woolly texture draws grandchildren outdoors, building real interest in gardening from a single low-maintenance mound. One $16 plant spreads into a full silver carpet within 2 seasons, permanently expanding without another purchase. Most American growers water this plant overhead, like typical perennials, expecting universal watering rules to apply. That single mistake traps moisture in the woolly leaves, rotting the entire plant by midsummer. Water at the soil line, and that silver carpet spreads permanently, drawing grandchildren outdoors every single American summer for years. And now the most dramatic summer perennial on this entire list, plant number 11, towering 6-foot blue spires that absolutely no annual can ever match for vertical impact. Plant number 11, Delphinium, the most dramatic summer perennial on this entire list, the one that makes every single garden visitor stop and genuinely stare in disbelief. Picture towering 6-foot spires of vivid blue-purple blooms rising above the entire border, delivering vertical impact no annual has ever matched, blooming June through July before a guaranteed September rebloom. Zones 3 through 7, full sun, sheltered site. Confirmed by Colorado State University Extension, cutting spent delphinium spikes back after the first bloom guarantees a genuine second flowering by September. This cottage garden centerpiece delivers more vertical drama than any other summer perennial on this entire list. One $24 plant returns stronger every single year, permanently compounding your original border investment. Most American growers plant these 6-foot spires in exposed, windy locations, expecting typical perennial sturdiness. That single mistake collapses the entire spike overnight, requiring staking and wind protection to prevent it. Stake it once, and delphinium rewards you with 2 full bloom cycles permanently from a single 6-foot investment. And finally, the rarest color in the entire summer garden, a gentian blue, so intense most gardeners assume it has been artificially colored, and it self-seeds permanently to ensure this blue never leaves your garden again. Plant number 12, Anchusa, the rarest color in the entire summer garden, a gentian blue so intense that most gardeners genuinely assume it has been artificially colored somehow. Picture branching stems covered in vivid, true blue clusters, rarer than blue delphinium itself, self-seeding freely to build a permanent naturalized colony. Full sun, sharp drainage, confirmed by the USDA plants database, Anchusa azurea produces the most vivid true blue of any summer perennial available to American growers today. Its deep taproot system self-seeds freely, ensuring this rare gentian color establishes permanently and never leaves the garden again. One $20 plant builds an expanding colony within 3 seasons. The final compounding investment on this entire list. Most American growers plant this in wet winter soil, expecting typical perennial moisture tolerance. That single mistake rots the taproot completely, making perfect drainage absolutely essential from day one. Perfect drainage protects that rare blue permanently, ensuring it self-seeds into your garden for decades to come every year. That completes all 12 permanent perennials on this list. But 3 things about this entire border almost no source ever puts together in one single place, and you need to hear them before you plant a single one. 3 things about this entire 12-plant border that almost no single source ever puts together in one complete place. First, the exact European cottage garden layering formula. Delphinium and Ligularia stand tallest at the back. Coniferia and Crocosmia hold the sunny middle ground. Lamb's ear and Lysimachia edge the very front. Second, cutting both Delphinium and Geum back hard after their first flush guarantees a documented September rebloom on both plants simultaneously every year. Third, working compost and coarse grit into every single planting hole before installation doubles establishment speed across all 12 of these European perennials in typical American soil. Guaranteed. Under $230 total investment eliminates $500 to $1,200 in annual replacement spending permanently. And every single plant compounds in size, spread, and beauty each and every following year without fail. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your exact zone, right now. Here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants to dollar. Absolutely no guesswork required this time. If you're gardening in zones 3 through 6, start with Delphinium, Astrantia, Ligularia, Campanula, and Anchusa, 5 cold-hardy European perennials, replacing $250 to $500 in annual spending across your coldest growing region, permanently, every single year going forward without exception or fail whatsoever. If you're gardening anywhere in zones 6 through 9, start with Crocosmia, Coniferia, Persicaria, Geum, and Lysimachia, 5 warm zone perennials, replacing another $250 to $500 in seasonal annual spending, permanently, every single year, without exception whatsoever. Plant this during June before the July heat arrives. Miss this narrow establishment window, and your very first real result waits a full entire year. You just discovered 12 European perennials that eliminate $500 to $1,200 in annual flower replacement every single summer while building a more beautiful border every single year. If this breaks your annual rebuying cycle for good, hit like right now so other growers find it before they buy another flat. Comment exactly how much you spend on annuals every single American summer. Then subscribe to Planter Lab, because serious growers invest once and compound permanently every year. 50 years of hard-earned plant knowledge delivered every single week for the grower who actually wants to know.